Okay, guys, so I've had a thought. Basically, my theory is that whichever position you are in now, so whether you've just leveled up, you've just got your new car, maybe you've just made your first little bit of money trading, you got your first payout, maybe you've just had your first profitable month, whatever period in life you are, whatever stage you are, I think it's pretty much dependent on how much comfort you have sacrificed in the past, you know, however many years across your journey. So the reason I think about this is because when I look back over, probably the past 4 years now, I've been trading because I've known about trading for 4 years. Have I been fully, locked in working throughout those 4 years? Most definitely not. And it's the periods of time when I have the most comfort is when I lose all my progress. And it's when I'm, you know, going out, doing stupid shit, talking to, people that probably aren't the best influence on me. And it's all about, my eyes, how much, how badly do you want it, pretty much. That's pretty much all it is. And to me, the main thing I want to talk about and the biggest jump and I think where most of my improvement has really come from is now how I see what comfort was, and like my view of comfort and my view of fun is dramatically different to what it was 6 months ago. Because before I used to balance fun with work, and I used to, I would do a bit of work, I would make some videos, I would do some back testing, I would do, whatever towards trading. And I would view that as work, and I'd view that as difficult, and I'd view that as almost in a negative light. And then I would have to try balance this with something I would view in a more positive light, such as going out, talking to people, whatever, drinking, doing, whatever. And the main point of success, I think I'd call this success because I look at it and like I see the turning point, and I think it's a bit of a feat to have this mindset shift. And to be honest, I'm proud of it because the way I look at work now is completely different. I don't look at work as in something I have to do, as in, oh no, I've got work tomorrow. Like the person that works at McDonald's, they like, oh no, I can't come out and drink tonight because I've got to wake up early to go fucking do my 9 to 5, whatever. I don't look at it like that anymore. I look at well, to be fair, I don't even look at it in any type of way. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't look at it in any way. It's simply a habit. It's simply something that I enjoy, simply something I do, and it's more or less, in the least cringy way possible. It's just part of me and how I live my life now, and it's a very different way of viewing things since what it was like probably 6 months ago. And I think this is a major turning point for anybody in any stage of any business. Whether you want to do drop shipping, whether maybe you're fucking 30 and you've already got some money and now you're trying to invest in houses, you're doing real estate, whether you're just a fucking 12-year-old kid trying to, pressure your driveways and now you're like at a different stage. It doesn't matter who you are, what job you're doing, whatever. This is a major turning point, and I feel like I should have talked about this before because I kind of knew it happened to me. I felt it and I've recognized that and I've kind of talked to myself about it. Um, but I've never really sat down and genuinely thought about the reasonings behind it. And I think I need to be more on the mindset, mental side of trading and work now because of, I feel like I've done or I've made improvements in that field almost accidentally. And that has helped me so much. And I feel like it's something we all need to talk about. Basically, the biggest thing for me is moving forwards, you need to think about how much did you genuinely enjoy your comfort or your fun and your times of relaxation or times of basically when you weren't working. How much did you genuinely enjoy those? Do you look back over the past year that are the times that you really remember? Are they times where you've sat down and really got some some proper amounts of work done, and you've made something, you've accomplished something real and genuine, you've hit a new milestone. Maybe you are creating content and you've hit a new level of viewers, you've hit a new level of followers, subscribers, whatever it is. Do your points of happiness derived from comfort, fun, or work or achievements? And this is really something you need to look at, analyze, more than just, oh yeah, no, I like looking back when I was really high in that rave, whatever. It's not just like saying something simple like that, but you need to look into the reasoning behind it all, because whether you enjoyed that most because you were around certain people, or was it because you were carefree of certain problems you may have in your life? When you really analyze why you feel the way you feel in certain situations, you can genuinely mold your life to an unbelievable extent. Like, I promise you, you don't understand the extent at which you can do this. Because if I'll use this rave, for example, okay? Just made up completely, completely made up on the spot. If your favorite memories for the past year, okay, so it is July 25th when I'm making this, probably posting it July 25th as well. So 2026. If you look back, so this summer, which we've had like half of, we look back all the way to last summer, and you look back through all that period of time, which points of time are the most memorable? If I'm going to make up four completely random ones, all right, this is Jimmy. These are his four imaginary most memorable points in his life. Going to raves on drugs with his friends, all right, that's one. Another could be he went on holiday. Another could be he hit 100 followers on TikTok. Another could be he passed a funded account. He didn't get payout, but he passed it. All right, those are the four things. Those are the four memorable things. And if each person is different, but for Timmy, whatever, or for fucking whoever it is, all right, if you look at each reason why each four of these things are the most memorable. Don't just look at them and be like, oh, the rave because it was fun and I had fun and blah, blah, blah. No, you need to really analyze it. What parts of it was fun? Was it just purely the drugs? Was it purely the dopamine? Was it purely the socializing? Was it purely the fact you were away from home? Was it purely the fact that you were with certain people? Was it purely the fact that you didn't have to worry about certain responsibilities that you have? You like, which parts of what make you enjoy life the most? Because that's what I've been doing. I've been looking back and looking over past like points in my life. So one most memorable for me was last summer. I went out. I was out all day, every day, pretty much with my friends before um, like throughout summer before school started, and I was never home. I was always just doing something, and that was most memorable for me. And when I look back at it, yes, I feel like I had fun, but now I know in the moment I was having fun, but I don't look back at it as a fun experience. And the reason I think this is because I knew deep down that I wasn't achieving any goals. I wasn't going, in fact, I was probably going backwards in most of my goals. And that is the biggest problem for me. I really enjoyed the social side of it. I got to talk to lots of different people. So that's one thing, that I can take away from this, because if you look back at it and most people be like, oh yeah, it was fun because we went around and we did blah 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 and we just did stupid shit. No, I'm looking back at it and it was fun because of this and it wasn't fun because of this. And then you take both those things and you implement them into a healthier way of life, and you can still have all the positives, you can get rid of all the negatives and have a better way of life. Because if I really like the social bit and talking to lots of different people, I don't need to do what I was doing last summer to talk to lots of different people and make friends and socialize, whatever. I don't need to do that. So I can easily implement that into being, more social in the gym, starting a new hobby, doing whatever, doing this. Maybe you have multiple goals and they collide. So Maybe you want to, you know, maybe you want to be more fit and you want to talk to more people. Just go to the gym and just talk to people, instead of having to go to two extremes. Like, you can really look back in the past and just take away factors. So the bit that I didn't enjoy, and the reason why it wasn't true fun, it was like a false reality fun, was because I was going backwards in all my genuine beliefs. I was doing things against my beliefs. I wasn't working hard. I wasn't doing anything that I was truly proud of. So if you just link them all together, you can do the fun things whilst doing shit that you're proud of. Like, it's not that fucking, like, it's really not that difficult. For me, I after that I went to boxing for a long period of time, which is a big part of my life as well. I have very abstract hobbies, so boxing, I do motocross, and they're both things that in the moment I need 100% concentration on. If somebody's about to punch me in the face, I'm not thinking about wanting to have a food later. You're not, and that's the biggest thing I enjoyed about summer, was the fact that I didn't have to care and I could just focus on what I was doing and I could just run around and fuck about. I didn't have to care about things. So when you're focused on one thing to such an extent, it might seem stupid because it seems like you care about that one thing, but when you're focused on that one thing to such an extent, you don't care about anything. Like, it's such a backwards way of thinking, and it's like unlocked a different level of work ethic in me because I genuinely enjoy what I do to a different extent. Like, I can't, it's unexplainable. Like, I haven't learned enough about myself to be able to explain it to somebody else yet. So this video is probably quite waffly and it doesn't really make much sense, but hopefully you guys are trying to grasp what I'm saying, and maybe you can link this to some experiences you've had. But the main takeaway of this is going back into, you know, you go back into your memories, you're looking back at your past self, you're looking back at your comfort, and the times where you've had most comfort is when you've made the least amount of progress. When you've had the least amount of comfort, you've made the most amount of progress. But I'm saying you can take specific points from when you've had no comfort, and you can take specific points from when you have had comfort, link them together, and then turn what you think isn't comfort into comfort and still manage to make progress. You can, like, life is genuinely a cheat. Like, that sounds really stupid saying life is a cheat code, but when you understand what is going on in your life, you it seems like a cheat code because you just can fly past other people with progress and work ethic and achievements and whatever you want to do. And that's just the biggest thing I need to stress on. I really want the outcome of this video to be you guys sat down and probably writing down. I want you to get a notebook or get a piece of paper, or open the notes app, and I want you to write down each I want you maximum 5 memorable, like, really key periods of your life throughout the past year or so, and then look into them for 10 minutes every day. Just sit down and just try be as creative as possible and think about why you were like that. You don't need answers. Sometimes maybe you sit down for 10 minutes and you just like, I don't know, I don't know, whatever. But just sit down for 10 minutes and just look at it every day for a week. And then you try and make connections and see which parts you enjoyed about what your issues are, what your strengths are, what you want to really do, and just take away all these factors, because maybe for some people, you realize that there's certain people in your life that you no longer want around you because of the influence they have on you, and whether that's negative as in they're making you do worse things, or negative, like, I mean, negative as in they have like a bad influence on you, so you going out partying or whatever, or it's negative in a way as like a mental state, as in like toxic relationship or whatever the fuck. And you need to just go find all the negatives, all the positives, and then try make an ideal situation with the least amount of negatives and the most amount of positives, where you can work as hard as possible and achieve your goals. That is pretty much it, summed up as simple as possible. And just don't let comfort take over. because a lot of you are fighting for the comfort in your future self, your older self. You're looking for the comfort in your older self, and realistically, you're all younger now. You know, I'm 18. I would much rather have a comfortable bed when I'm 80 than when I'm 18. And if, imagine you live for 100 years, all right? You have the opportunity to have a comfortable bed for 80 years. So 20 years, you can't have a comfortable bed. Which years are you picking to not have a comfortable bed? Personally, for me, probably from 15 to bloody, 35 or whatever, 30, 10 to 30 or whatever, that period of your life where you can sit down, you can work, you don't need pure comfort, you can make not being comfortable enjoyable. You need to, yeah, you need to enjoy being uncomfortable to give yourself the best shot at being where you want to be in the future. It's as simple as that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys understood that. It wasn't too much waffle. It probably was, but I'll try make the next video better. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.